Hello, everyone, and welcome to Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian. In the news, Hopkins County Judge Robert Newsom says the Commissioner's Court hopes to have a new manager of the Hopkins County Regional Civic Center by Monday. The court began to receive applications for the job back on March 25th after Civic Center manager Adam Tier announced his resignation during a county work session. Tier's last day as Civic Center manager is Monday. He plans to go into hotel management. Tier did tell the court if they name his replacement soon enough, he would be willing to return and help train his replacement. The court received 11 applications for the Civic Center manager job. The Commissioner's Court met in executive session Monday to begin the selection process, and they had another session on Wednesday. Christus Mother Frances Hospital Sulphur Springs lost power briefly Thursday morning. The outage occurred at 10:45 a.m. Regular power was out for just a few minutes, but the hospital backup generator kicked in as soon as the regular power went out. The hospital said patient care never stopped, adding there was no disruption in service. Regular power was restored by 11 a.m. Encore said the outage was caused when a tree limb fell on a power line. That limb was removed and regular power was restored. 3 people were jailed early Wednesday morning as Hopkins County Sheriff's deputies were investigating a couple of recent lawnmower thefts. The Sheriff's Department had received a couple of reports of stolen lawnmowers from properties south of Sulphur Springs. During one of those thefts, a person was able to describe a possible suspect vehicle and a suspect. So shortly after midnight Wednesday, deputies made a traffic stop of a vehicle that matched the report. The driver reportedly matched the suspect description. One man in the vehicle admitted that he was involved in a recent lawnmower theft. The investigation took deputies to the man's residence, and then executing a 3 a.m. search warrant, deputies removed a lawnmower as well as some drug paraphernalia. The 2 men were arrested for drug paraphernalia. The investigation then led deputies to a residence on County Road 1112. A search at that residence yielded 35 grams of heroin and drug paraphernalia. 25-year-old Kalen Ray Halbert of Talco was charged with possession of over 4 grams but less than 200 grams of a controlled substance. The investigation into the stolen lawnmowers is continuing. Sulphur Springs High School bands had a UIL contest on Tuesday and Wednesday this week, and band director Spencer Emmert has good news to share.
Work every year for UIL contest in the spring. High school was up first this year. The non-varsity band, which we call our concert band, went on Tuesday and performed, and then our varsity band, which we call our wind ensemble now, traveled to Mount Pleasant yesterday for their performance. It's a long process of preparing prescribed music off of a list that is dictated by the state on what level we're required to play. And the kids work real hard. We do sectionals. Lots of extra work comes up to the big day for UIL contest. It was a great day, both days. Our non-varsity band came back with first divisions on stage and in sight reading, which has only happened. This is only the 4th time in school history that has happened. So that was a huge accomplishment. Our varsity band came back yesterday with straight 1s across the board as well. And coupled with our fall marching band UIL contest with straight 1s, that qualified the band as a whole, the whole band program in the school for that matter, for the Sweepstakes Award, which is one of the most coveted awards in all of UIL and the most coveted award in music. So it was a fantastic thing. I will say this, history is being made, both bands making sweepstakes. I believe has only happened 2 times in school history. We're going to go back and take a look at the archives, but it was a pretty awesome thing. So this would be like the 3rd or potentially the 4th time in school history that has happened. So big moment for the Wildcat Band.
Yeah, two completely different disciplines. You perform, and then the sight reading room is real interesting.
Oh yeah, that's just as stressful on the adults as it is the students. I have to. The directors have a piece of music that we have never before seen as well. They give me 3 minutes to take a look at it before the kiddos get it, and then I have 10 minutes, 7 minutes of general explanation where I can just count, and then 3 minutes where I can actually sing parts for them. So a total of 10 minutes, and the kids have to play a substantial piece of music. Incidentally, this year the piece was kind of a Spanish-Mexican piece, which was really a neat piece of music this year, and the kids played it real well.
Yeah, it helps to have something that sounds like real music.
Absolutely, absolutely. And lots of concepts go into place. Judges are listening not just for the kids to play the right rhythms and notes, but also the kids have to master the concepts of balance and blend. They have to understand if they have the melody or the accompaniment. They have to put that all integrated into the performance. In addition to style, the right dynamic contrast and things. And with only 10 minutes to get through a 100+ measure piece of music that's fairly complex, there's just some things I can't go over with them. I can't get to everything in that little amount of time for that level of literature. And so the students are asked to really do that on their own, spur of the moment, right there, kind of on the spotlight, so to speak. And man, both groups just played it so well. Our non-varsity band reads a level 3 sight reading, and our varsity band read the level 5 piece for this year, and so it was great. It was fantastic.
You have middle school, I believe, coming up tomorrow. Is that right?
Yes, both middle school bands will travel to Pleasant Grove tomorrow, and so we're eager to hear them. They have been working so hard. Our middle school band staff has just really turned over our whole band program as a whole. The staff is really working hard for kids. There's never a moment where we're not pushing these students, and they're responding beautifully. It has been really neat to see that this year, and really witness kind of just a great progression. And regardless of how the ratings come out tomorrow, we expect them to perform extremely well, and we feel the judges are going to reward them accordingly. But the progress that we have seen this year, 6th through 12th, has been astounding.
All right. What's next for band now?
We will be segueing for high school into working towards our showcase, fine arts showcase, our role of that. We have, I think, the fine arts program here has a little tradition that has recently been created where the different groups kind of do a abbreviated performance at the end of the year. So we'll be integrated into that. Shortly thereafter, we'll really start preparatory for next year's marching band. The show is being developed and continuing to be organized and things. And so it's going to be a great exciting fall. It is an area year for us next year. So that brings new expectations and new excitement. We plan to have an unveiling of our show theme the Thursday before Easter for our students. And so shortly thereafter, we'll do some press releases and things for what's to come. And I think the Friday night crowd, the community as a whole, and most specifically our band boosters, are going to be just as excited as our students at what we're going to be unveiling.
Just a great suggestion. Charles McCauley never bought into it, but the Monkees were a really good group.
Well, that'd be great. Hey, under Charlie, I actually had a show years ago at Quitman. We did Three Dog Night, and we had some classic rock type of shows, which are, I mean, they're fun. That's a fun theme too. We oftentimes on UIL years, we sometimes have to be conform to some of the expectations of our adjudication panels. And at that level, we really have to be careful of implementing a little bit of high-end music and a little bit of classical music in there as well while appealing to our students and crowds. So that's our goal.
Dana's and the Buffalo Girls are back at it again with a Picker's Paradise and a Shopper's Dream opening next weekend, starting April 11th at Backstory Brewery. Now, this is one you won't want to miss.
Yes, we're going to be at Backstory Brewery here on the southwest corner of the square, downtown Sulphur Springs. It's 211 Magnolia Street. Plenty of parking, free admission, and free parking this year. So just come on out and join in with the fun. Lots of new vendors in.
we have gotten used to the way that you do your flea markets and even your store. There's a million things to look at. You could hardly take it all in.
Oh yes, yes, it's going to be great. Lots of new people to come in, and we can't wait for the crowd to come out and see what we've got in store for them, and to tour the new venue, 211.
Sure. Now tell us the dates.
Okay, it's next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the 11th through the 13th, starting at 4 o'clock with an opening on at the brewery. 4 to 9. There'll be entertainment going on, games and other things. Saturday, it'll of course open at 9 and stay till whenever, till the crowd leaves.
Okay.
And late night on Friday as well.
Okay, and then Saturday.
So we're really excited about Saturday. It's going to be a big early morning and a late night.
Okay. So much fun. Backstory Brewery, if you haven't been there, and it is the perfect venue for one of Dana's Picketer's Paradise and Shopper's Dream events.
Yes.
What are you going to have? Who are you going to have?
We have a lot of the Texas pickers that are here from local. We've got one coming from Dobby, Texas. Glitzy Peacock will be there with her traveling trailer of Sparkle and Jewels. And we have some in-town gals. We've got Kirby's Boutique coming. Arcico Ranch out of Winsboro's coming with her great Santa Fe jewelry. And Jen Jones and Elizabeth also have their home-crafted leather. Miss Sanders is coming with handmade soaps. And there's so much more. You just can't miss it.
Well, I see signs around town that says flea market, I must go. And that's how us women feel.
That's right. You must go. And the guys need to come out, too, because there's a new fishing and tackle guy that'll be there, Mr. Dale Sides.
Okay.
So.
Okay, well, you have been doing this on the 2 times a year basis. We're going to focus in on springtime, the opening of our interest of redecorating, redoing,
yes.
putting what we love, outdoor living spaces. So
there'll be indoor and outdoor, vendors. And also bring your things out. If you've got something that you want to sell, bring photos of it and show it to the dealers out there so they can pick up and see, because they're there to buy as well.
Really?
So, yeah. Bring your photos of it and just meet with the dealer and visit with them.
Okay. Well, you're in touch with dealers all over Northeast Texas. You have been at Canton for years and years,
yes.
in your big rambling store over here on the interstate, and you kind of refashioned how you offer the goods that you really love in your store, Dana's and the Florist and the Buffalo Girls Boutique.
Yes, boutique inside, yes. And we also have locations in Winsboro at a mall, and Canton Mall, and Greenville Mall, and Mount Pleasant, the market on 67. So be sure and always check those places out. They're great shopping venues.
Well, you really are diversified.
We try to be.
A little girl from the Winsboro area who, you always like this kind of thing?
Always.
I think you always liked the cowboy, the 1950s cowboy, Roy Rogers type person.
I was born at a different time, but I love it.
And your printed material really shows that up. Your logo with the buffalo, I like that.
Yes.
How did you come to bring all your ideas and thoughts into sort of on one page?
I'm kind of a scrambled mess, but I love all the pretty things, and a buffalo stands for it's always withstood time. So that's always been something I just absolutely love.
If you've got one of those lovely Dana shopping bags, bring that when you come to the market.
Please do.
It says so many things about the buffalo, and I hadn't thought about standing your ground and slogans like that kind of apply to our lives.
Yes. Simple.
Yeah.
Everyday living.
Yeah. That's what Dana stands for. Well, the Picker's Paradise and Shopper's Dream will open Thursday the 11th, just 1 week.
At 4 o'clock that evening till 9.
You also, and that's right here in Sulphur Springs at the Backstory Brewery, we're anxious for you to see that place too. It's a perfect venue for Dana's.
Yes, it is. And also Plain and Fancy Buffalo Girl Cafe will be there serving. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and you're right within walking distance of downtown for all the great shops. You can go visit, go eat, and then come back and spend the day with us.
The Buffalo Girl Cafe.
A perfect weekend to just stay downtown. And plenty of parking off of Magnolia.
Now, we do have to mention something else that you're involved in and a big support of, And it is the Treasure Trails.
Yes, Highway 11, which goes through all of our town. And just because Highway 11 is not right downtown, that doesn't mean that we can't all be a part of it. So make it work for you, your store, your home, have your own sale, and just be a part of it because we'll have the traffic coming through. 6 towns, Sulphur Springs all the way to Linden, 80 miles. And that'll get branded with the same weekend always as my 2 shows, the Winsboro show as well as Sulphur Springs in the spring.
So the spring show in Sulphur Springs is April 11th, 12th, and 13th, and you already have fall planned.
Yes.
Well, it's in the works of being planned, but the dates are set.
Oh, the dates are all set.
October 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm anxious to know and interested to know, maybe listeners are too, how you came with all this idea. I mean, I know you used to have a Western wear store. It seems like a kind of a gradual evolution of your retail works. It's interesting.
I think you need to go back to doing what you love the most. Yeah. And that's what I started out doing, and I've always had a love with it. So I love the old mixed with the new. I love the Indian, the country, but still the Victorian. Mm-hmm. Just an eclectic blend.
Okay. And as things have come in and out of style, of course, that comes and goes within any retail shop. But the things that are old and meaningful, like the things our moms had or grandmothers had, still hold a place in your shop.
Oh, yes. Yes, always. You'll always find a handmade quilt or our displays out of old furniture or recycled pieces of furniture that somebody has given me or meant something to me along the way.
Absolutely. And I would think that you would have the biggest house in town with plenty of room for all of that stuff at home, but you don't necessarily have to because you have your shop all the time, right. Dana, and the florist.
Yes, open daily.
And that's on Gilmer Street now.
438 Gilmer.
Yeah, very convenient for shopping. And then twice a year you put on these big shows.
Mm-hmm, Sulphur Springs, and then once in October, second weekend in October in Winsboro at my mom and dad's home place.
Okay, yes, I loved that. Last fall you opened it there, and it was nice not only seeing the vendors shopping. I bought a small calf skin that I've been wanting. I bought, I don't know what, a poster about music with guitars on it.
Yes,
you could just
did.
find almost anything there.
Anything. The vendors have really, they've been out buying and pulling and trading, and it's just going to be a really good show.
Now, in your store, you have a line of hats.
Yes.
And leather purses.
Yes, we have Charlie One Horse hats, which is kind of the cover girl of Stetson Resistol. They're made to look old, worn,
okay,
with a little bit of character. Lots of neat feathers and all that. And then I have several lines of the leather goods, so you'll have to come by and see them.
Okay, those crossbody purses are just what you have to have. I mean, they're so practical and useful. Well, besides the treasure trails that we've been a little bit describing, 80 miles of garage sale junk and treasures through 6 historical towns on the days of 11th, 12th, and 13th of April. But send her in and get it all in one place when Dana opens at the Backstory Brewery.
Yes. And then just watch for signs around town.
Okay.
The signs will guide you to the flea market, but other people can be participating in the Highway 11. So we're all just have a great big sale.
You know, I hadn't thought about Highway 11 winding through so many communities, in small communities that maybe don't get a lot of like interstate traffic like we enjoy here. Right. So I'm glad you came up with that idea.
And it's beautiful little towns that you can go and stay. You can go within a day and make 2 or 3 of them, and then go back and find what their neat little niche is.
I really like Hughes Springs.
Yes.
They really, really try to attract the folks that are going down Highway 11.
Yes, everybody participates in what's going on. It's nice.
Well, the flea market is opening on Thursday, April 11th at 4 o'clock at Backstory Brewery, right on Magnolia Street, here in Sulphur Springs. Come dressed to walk and shop.
Yes.
And find all kinds of things that you're going to want to take home. Also, tell your friends. Get your folks from out of town to come to town and spend a weekend with you.
Absolutely.
What else can you tell us about I know this is months and months of planning.
for this 3-day show.
It is. We have planned since last year, and it will continue. Daily we come up with something new, and the Backstory Brewery has been amazing with how they've welcomed us and what all they've got planned to do. It's going to be a great weekend. And there'll be all kinds of things going on downtown as well.
That is true.
All over town.
That is true.
So it's a great time to celebrate and bring your family in to come see.
Well, saddle your horse or hook up your wagon. If you don't have either of those, put your boots on.
That's right.
And come to Dana's.
Yes.
It is a shopper's dream, and you are going to love the flea market.
Yes, you will. And the shop on Gilmer Street, the florist, will have a sidewalk sale. So hopefully everybody along Gilmer and around the square will be having sales out in front of their shop. They need to take advantage of this.
The trailer that you have is just so cute. It's on the corner of the downtown square right now.
Yes.
As a reminder.
It's an old 50s model, probably 57 truck bed that my dad had redone for me right before he passed away. And then the young man that works for me, George, has added all the little housetop and the eclectic little gypsy wagon for advertisement. We used to show off of it and sell off of it, but my wares kind of outgrew that, so we just use it for advertisement now and pull it around and park.
You have lots of jewelry, too, that are distinctively Dana's and distinctively kind of a Pioneer Girl theme.
Lots of Indian head nickels, the buffalo nickels, when mixed with leather, and a little bit of crystal. A lot of just chains mixed in with it, tassels for purses, fox and coon tails that you add on, so it's fun. A couple ponchos, and then the different type of, we also have the cowhide rugs and a new purse line that has the cowhide mixed in with it with leather, the tooled leather.
Something that I like is when you go to whether it's Dana's in the Florist or one of your shows that you put on, you always get ideas about, well, I've got that and I could wear it that way, or I've got that and I could display it like that.
Put it together.
You're a master at that, Dana.
Well, thank you.
Oh, and I wanted to ask, too, about your Buffalo Girls. Now, who are they? Are they
They are anyone who wants to join with us. All of our vendors, I'll say even the guys say they're the Buffalo Girls. So it's been a lot of fun. Just a union of ladies. There's probably about 10 of us that are forever all together in my group. So come be a Buffalo Girl with us.
In sports, the Wildcats tennis team did not have anyone advance to the regional tournament at the district tournament held at the Wildcat Tennis Complex Tuesday and Wednesday. We get more from Wildcats tennis coach Tony Martinez.
We didn't do it as well as we'd like to have done. We at some place, I guess we didn't execute when we should have, and we executed at the wrong time, at the wrong place and everything. My boys' doubles fell in the first round to Lindell's doubles team, and we were the number 3 seeds there. And we did split matches. We lost the first set, came back and won the second set, and they picked up the momentum and they beat us in the third set 6-2, I believe. So that was kind of a heartbreaker right there. One of the biggest heartbreakers of the day was Jonah Kirkpatrick, number 2 seed in the tournament. And we felt like our chances were really high on going to regionals this year. And he had to play a senior from T High in the semifinals. And we get to win the first set 6-0. And then after that, he fell apart. He loses the next set 6-0, and he's down 5-0. So he's lost, 11 games straight in a row. So it just, things didn't work for him. Serves, double faults, just trying to get serves in, it just didn't, things you don't expect. And that was one of the expectations of the match that day, where he didn't execute on his serves. But other than that, the boys' doubles, they ended up winning first place in the consolation draw, and my number 2 boys team lost to those guys again, so they got second place in the consolation. Another good showing was the senior captain, Zoe Wilson. Had a tough match, won her first match, but in the second match in the semi, she had to play the Lindells, number 2 girl. And she, believe it or not, we were just hoping to get a game. And she did get a game, 6-1. And then before we knew it, she was up 4-3 in the second set. I mean, she was getting more games, and she was in the match. but just also kind of missed executions, and the other girl kind of picked up her game. But very proud of Zoe, finishing up her senior year, but did it with class here with all the people watching. And she did, like I said, push Lindell to the limits in that match. She eventually, I think, got second place in the tournament. So we were really happy with those results. And so everybody, my girls, freshman girls, got through the first round, beating Greenville, but then lost to T-High's eventual number one team that was going to regionals too. So, but other than that, I'm real happy with, our progress, and real happy with, the competition that that they competed this week in the 2 days of competition. So nothing to hang our heads down. We're looking forward to, some bright sunny days here this next year.
Yeah, you lose very few seniors, seems like, and
just one, Zoe Wilson, just one. So that's it. So
you miss her, but at the same time, you've got some great young freshmen.
Freshmen that are coming in
a big junior class that you've had for years.
Right, and so that will hurt. We're good for this next year. We got like 8. And I got one returning. We have 8 senior boys next year, so we're going to be fine. We're looking at it, and the kids are already gun ho for fall tennis already. So, but we're going to take a little break here for the next few weeks and let them, get set. And have to throw in, we do have our Can't Help tournament next weekend. So the kids are going to play their last hurrah type of tournament that weekend.
People can still get in that if they want?
Yes, they sure can. The deadline's still like next week, and we got a lot of former Sulphur Springs players that are coming back to play in this tournament, so we're very happy to see that too.
They can just contact you here?
They can contact me or Can Help. Contact my wife there, Adela, at Can Help, and she'll get you all situated.
That's Channel 18 TV News for today. I'm Don Julian. Thank you so much for joining me, and so long, everybody.